husband went into the guest bedroom on the 1st of October 2017.
Wow.
Saying, I don't want to be married to you.
And then just leaving you to deal with it all. Which often happens.
He lost his job within 2 weeks of that. He lost his very well paid job and got paid a huge settlement, but again, just stayed in the guest bedroom. And then I was working at a local prep school, offsetting school fees. So I continued doing that, but no money was coming into the house at all. Yeah. And we both lived together, separated for 9 months till he got a job the following May. And then he still stayed until the August, because I think he just was just like in a sort of no man's land, you know, after 9 months of just existing together. I think he said something like, I could carry on doing this forever. What's the big deal? I think meeting you was very informing because it was almost like your story was worse than mine. Yes. So that cheered me up. It's a bit like a car crash. I've got various analogies that will help people in the first stage understand the chaos. So number one is, I heard someone on your site talking about this car crash and all of the glass comes in. And in a movie, it goes, woo, woo, woo. So there's that. And it lasts for months. All of the glass comes in. And you just sit there in a broken car wreck because no one else is going to do anything, in shock. So, you know, there's the car crash analogy. There's the sort of falling, like Alice in Wonderland, down into a tunnel. And I just kept feeling like I was falling, but there was nothing to catch me. And that went on for probably a year. There was no bottom to this falling. The analogy for the guilt was the rubble. I used to look around all these lumps and bumps of, you know, things I could probably make something out of as a fixer, as most women are. But the rubble that was left, that was my choice. What am I going to do with these little bits and pieces? I live on an estate here and all the houses were finished in 1915. And all of the front boundary fences have these black sort of volcanic rocks and bits of broken brick. And obviously it's from the war and, you know, bits and pieces people just made do. And it's kind of like that. You sort of think, well, that's a nice little remnant. I'll keep that. And there's a nice bit of rubble if I put with that, and that fits together. And that's the beginning of the rebuilding. I don't know when you know that starts happening. It might not be for months if you're being kind to yourself, but you begin to see the rubble and think, there's a bit of promise in this rubble. I wear my wedding ring and people say, oh, so you're not really over him. And I said to my big sister, who's very wise, I said, what do I do about like the jewelry he gave me and the nice things? She said, Alice, there's no rule book. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I wear this ring because I love it, because I made a bunch of promises that I kept. For me, that represents a happiness in my life and a great moment in my life and a commitment that you know, it's all quite happy, that ring. Yeah. Why does it have to go in a box just because my husband lives down the road and has bought a 3-bed flat? You know, those are the things that you can take your time about, whether it's the bed or the rug or a wedding ring. You choose. You know, you're left with so much stuff you can't change. Yeah. That, you know, there are times where I couldn't wear this wedding ring because it's too painful. But equally, now I've framed it how I perceive that, and people find it unusual. But then that's the beauty of it, is you can be unusual. I found a lot of people telling me, oh, well, he was never really around, so that was, you know, preparation for where you are now. You're the sort of person who'll just get on with it. You're the sort of person that always comes out right side up. I found all that deeply annoying in my grief and in my journey. And I refused to believe it because I was still in the wallowing pit of grief and shock and anger. And still now people tell me how I'm supposed to be about things. But you're right. I think, as much as I hate to say it, one of my very good best friends said, Alice, when this divorce eventually happens, you'll be financially better off, emotionally better off, and therefore physically better off because you're carrying this stress that's got to go somewhere. You're going to be better off in every way. Well, if I could have punched her clean out right there in the bar, I would have done. Because she's happily married, what would she know? Yeah. But actually, in this very long journey, and if you're patient enough, and if I don't come across as cheesy, yes, there's a whole new person that cracks out of that egg at some point, hopefully, for a lot of people. But I also think you have to live with some brokenness, some scars, some baggage, whatever, you know, like I am a better off person and I now stand my own ground, know my own mind as if I didn't before, but even more so because it's tested me in every single way and made me the strong, proud, capable woman that I am now. it is a sense of achievement at the end, and no one knows when the end is. It takes forever, but eventually it is the end.